Hello, so my name is today's video is called "What Does the Bible Say About Smoking?" Okay, so last video I made a video about alcohol, right? Now today I make a video about smoking. So what does the Bible say about smoking? Yeah, not talking about smoking. Yeah, cigarettes and also cigars and also pipe and vapor. There's some people that smoke vapor as well, and there's also some people that will smoke marijuana. They also call it, yeah, people will call smoking marijuana as in smoking weed and smoking pot. And that's what they mean, yeah. So we got some Bible verses about smoking. So here, they would have smoke in his nostrils, and fire out his mouth devoured, and coals and were kindred. I think this is talking about a dragon. Or Leviathan, I don't know. I think it's talking about a dragon. They went and smoke a nostril, devour his mouth devoured, and the coals controlled by it. Again, I believe this is about a dragon. And God says, Behold, the bearing seed is upon the base of every tree, the seed, the seed, and it should be for meat. I don't know, that has to do with smoking. And after the flesh, and do things of the flesh, and after the spirit, and things of the spirit. Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're looking for what the Bible says about smoking. I'm not looking for any verses about fire-breathing dragons. I'm talking about smoking. Anyway, what does the Bible say about smoking? Well, I know this title called "The Evils of Cigarette Smoking." Well, of course, it's not good to smoke, and smoking can give people lung cancer. It will give you and your family lung cancer because it's poisonous and stuff. And this is why I don't smoke. And yeah, a woman's even got the house. A woman's even actually got the house on fire because he actually dropped the cigarette on the floor and he got the house on fire because of your smoking. And there's some people that will do smoking while driving. That's not good here because that's distracted driving. And what will happen? And look, what happens if you got the car on fire because they actually dropped a cigarette in the car or something? Because that could happen too. I know, I'm just saying. I don't think. Yeah. So to me, I believe smoking while driving is a bad idea too. Anyway, I know this is why I'm against smoking, guys. I know I don't smoke. And here's a picture of a guy smoking multiple cigarettes at once. Yuck. And then I know I did grow up with people that smoke a cigarette. When I was at Boy Scouts, and I did it as well when I was, and I say yuck to people, and I smell. I didn't like the smell of smoke of cigarettes. I see. I smell. I go yuck because I don't like the smell of cigarettes. Now, Jason, okay, I don't like. I don't. Yeah, if you want to smoke cigarettes or cigars or pipe, that's fine. You probably will go to prison by smoking marijuana. But if you want to smoke, that's fine. But I want to you a reason why I don't want to smoke. Okay? I want to you why I believe that smoking is wrong and why I don't want to do it. Okay? It gives people lung cancer. It'll give you and your family lung cancer. That's why. I know that's why I don't do it. So you can see I'm against alcohol, but you can see I'm against smoking too. Okay? It's right here. Is any man that defileth the temple of God, shall God destroy for the temple of God, which the temple you are. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17. Now, of course, smoking may not send you to hell, but it will make you smell like you've been there. Well, of course not, because it's not smoking, because the only way to go to hell is to, well, choosing not to believe in Jesus Christ for salvation. That's the way. If God wanted you to have smoking coming out of your head, He'll put a chimney on top. Well, yeah, God, or God will let us breathe fire if He wants us to smoke. But no, God did not let us to do that. Okay, we're not fire-breathing dragons, and people want to smoke. But there's people that want to be like that. But people want to be like smoking, like fire-breathing dragons. But that's not good, because we're not dragons. We're humans. It says irresponsibility for cigarette smoking and smokers. I've been around for thousands of smokers in life and secure workplace. I have doctors and nurses lined up smoking outside in hospitals because they have proper health policies and prohibit smoking. They're better than anyone who have been to smokers. They have been addicted, and there's no addiction to cigarette addiction like cigarette addiction. I'm glad I never smoked in my life. Even one cigarette can make you hooked. I'm glad that most cities making it illegal to smoke in restaurants. Great. There's nothing worse than when you can go eat a nice smelling meal and there's someone disgusting cigarette smokes blowing your way. And it always does. I moved the tables and made a fuss with people and constantly light up in the restaurant. Thank God for anti-smoking laws. For so long, smoking blew their filth around the restaurant, didn't care about the others. Now they can't do it legally. Awesome. I said 85% cigarette smoking and consider people throwing their cigarette butts on the ground, gossiping others when they smoke with other smokers, and living immoral lives, apathy and indifference. Literally, cigarette smokers are a whole different breed of society and just don't care, except their smoke. Well, in general, that people who care for themselves, by not consuming alcohol, not smoking, not looking pornography, whereas cigarette smokers are most often selfish and consider it rude and like the adult concerning their marriage a slob and suddenly discussing their life and negative their opinions critics. I know guys, I know this is not good because I know this is why I don't like smoking. Cigarette smokers usually dissuade themselves for smoking. There's like dozens of success spend $1,500 a year of tobacco and take dozens of smoke breaks at work wherever a chance they get. Bosses who smoke usually projected towards smokers, looking out for each one and sharing smokes. Smokers have non-official self-destruction job. Non-smokers are resented by smokers. Cigarette smoking causes fatigue and obscenity back pain. The good news is that giving up smoking can undo the damage. It's not severe. If it's not severe, like lung cancer, it takes 5 years of healthy eating, exercise, deep breathing, and fresh air to restore one's natural self. Okay, couch potatoes. This is a guy who wants to be lazy. Okay, that's just what I mean by couch potato. Couch potatoes and buns usually smoke and drink beer. And when a man tells me that he drinks a lot of beer, pulls out of the Penthouse magazine, the workplace. I'm pretty sure you know he doesn't care what the Bible teaches. If he did, he wouldn't brag about being a beer drinker like so many men do today. It's not something to be proud about. Booze is shameful. Feeling nudity is shameful. Adam and Eve went to hide, and when they ate the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, yes, because their eyes were opened to the reality of sin, because nudity is sinful. Public nudity is sinful. Yeah, of course it is. Cigarette smokers have a death wish because cigarettes are one of the quickest ways to destroy body's health, especially for women. Oh, okay. Science. The harmful effects of tobacco smoke, little paralysis, one of striking forces of disease greater in women than in men. Cigarette smoking causes little damage to women than in men. Study finds. Okay, that's another thing. Only heaven knows the total amount of damage and misery caused by cigarette smoking. How many families have ended up homeless because their family member falling asleep while smoking? Cigarettes are dangerous because people have become so used to smoking, and they become so reckless and irresponsible. And the family house burned to the ground on Christmas Eve because the uncle fell asleep with a lit of cigarette in his head. Cigarettes are for a fool. Americans are usually addicted to cigarette smoking, and there are so many nations. Hollywood glorifies all the manner of sins, including smoking. Anything that deliberately harms the body is sinful. God loves within each Christian, and it is important we be good stewards to everything which God has entrusted it to us, and includes our bodies, everything that we own. This pressure is synonymous with smoking because it quickly soothes the brain of tension and stress. In the short term, cigarettes please the senses, but in the long term, it destroys one's life and health completely. Many people have died prematurely, suffering horrible slow deaths because of smoking. Only God knows many families have been left homeless because of cigarette smoking. Only God knows how many children have been burned with cigarettes by irresponsible adults. Only God knows how many forest fires and other tragedies can be caused by cancer sticks. Yeah, is that the reason why we have cigarettes? That's probably why we have wildfires in California, because of people smoking. I think this is the reason why. I think it's the reason why California can also. This might be another reason why California also had wildfires, because of people smoking. That's why. I know this is not good. But it is. I know this is why I don't smoke. As a child, I remember that brick house next to us catching fire, and it's one of the apartments burning up because the tenant fell asleep while smoking. It's like carrying a lit torch everywhere you go. In fact, listen how inconvenient cigarette companies are. Although cigarettes are nothing more than tobacco wrapped in paper, and they in fact carefully engineer to look, taste, smell, burn certain way, and they go to burning and we're not puffed. The spare smokers are in trouble and line up again. It pays off the higher sales cigarette burning in ashtrays, but it also means in a cigarettes rolling off the tip of ashtray mattress and cracking out of stove can smolder detected 34 minutes before bursting into flames. Take a look at how many fire-related fatal fires are caused by cigarette smoking. 56%. Yeah. And look at the So you can see heaters is 13.8%. Electrical is 7.5%. Cooking is 7%. Arson is 4.2%, and the other is 11.5%. So so most of it is caused by smoking. You see above the National Fire Protection Association, by the chart of national fires resulting in 1 or more fatalities. 56% of all fatal fires of housing are caused by smoking cigarettes. The tobacco companies are warned by people on TV there are dangers of cigarettes. They won't spend anything to warn people, but if they do, it's a jump off compared to the billions. Yes, billions with a big B in profits they make. Another way, one of the best ways to quit is to start eating right. Less carbohydrates, sport grains, and vegetables. And very importantly, that during the take deep breath, oxidation of the blood cells, which will reduce that sugar levels in your blood. Overall, feeling in health. Try it now. Just breath of ice and deep let out. So again, 10 times, but don't hyperventilate or you will faint. Right? For better health. Divine explodes against the proud. Proverbs 16 verse 19. It's better to be humble, for lowly, and divide a spoil with the proud. Of course. The 1990s tobacco companies as sued by the states of national costs associated by carrying of the cigarette smoking. The Supreme Court rules against the companies, lost by $250,000. That's over 25 years. That's a $10 billion state, penny over per year. A 10 million, okay, it makes $250,000. It costs them. Okay, this is million, so $250 billion over 25 years. That's $10 billion state penalty per year. And so he makes $50 billion a year. And then next say 2.5% in the study of each year. There's no justice in the states. Just wanted to loot. Proverbs 16 verse 19 calls and divine the spoils with the proud. Anyone who places money over justice, discarding God and holiness, which is sinful pride, the entire cigarette industry immoral and ungodly. Nation and this tobacco comes easy. This should becoming epidemic. Yeah. Cigarettes should be outlawed by the Madison Avenue Project. It is a free country. If you want to smoke, go ahead and knock yourself out. However, cigarettes are not to be marketed and pushed on the public as they are. Tobacco companies spend $10 millions advertising on billboards everywhere. It could be a panel of their dead sticks. Children are targeted by gimmicks such as John Camel, which is a sexual sedative. Might I add? But okay, in the federal states of Magnosia, the spawn of Palau, they banned tobacco. So many of their 12, 13-year-olds already addicted to cigarette smoking and will die in lung cancer in their 30s or 40s. Tobacco is usually a pandemic in many countries. Okay, and it makes me angry when greedy corporations that fits pushing the negation of public and not accountable or not responsible. Okay, let's go over into the state. They just reported the last month in the states of combined budget deflects more than $40 billion in 2009, raising cigarette taxes. Okay, raising cigarette taxes is There's maybe some states that are trying to be up a shortfall. 7 states are collecting more than $19 billion in cigarette taxes. And Maryland, which doubled its tax to $2 in January, and was one in 10 states that voted last year increase of collections. More states have been considering tax increases this year. The federal government being time collects nearly $7 billion, and annually the cigarette of excise taxes have been raised. Those taxes have been every year, but are potential. We do obviously chip legislation, which House Democrats have been this near top of this agenda next year. Overall, this little town Baltimore does not collect city of cigarettes, but some possibilities for a total top up to $600 million a year. This combined of New York, state of New York City, are highest in the country for $4.25 a pack, or $4.25. Okay, or $1.50 for a city, or $2.25 for a state, including a $1.25 state tax that took effect on June 3rd. But taxes are not the only government or revenue from cigarettes. Settlements in the late 1990s and in lawsuits against tobacco companies, the cigarette industry is paying taxes of nearly $250 billion over between 25 years. Under the agreement of those payments, the states continue following even beyond 25 years as long as tobacco industry is healthy. But the payments are phased out of cigarette companies profits decline would ultimately disappear if people stop smoking. According to tobacco.org, on top of the 6 tobacco producing companies were made $146,200,000,000 in the year 2008. This is just for 1 year. In recent years, publicly treated for tobacco companies, causation of mergers. Today, 5 major private tobacco companies. Philip Morris International, Philip Morris USA, Japan Tobacco, International Rich American Tobacco, Permanent Tobacco. In addition of those corporations of these 16 state-owned companies are along of cigarette manufacturers in specific countries. China, National Tobacco Corporations of the United States of the Tobacco Company, more cigarettes, a company of 2008 CTC, thanks to 21 winning. Okay. For many joint cigarettes are produced worldwide. Okay, so that's okay. This is evidence that even Chinese people smoke too then. Well, that's not good either. Yeah, so not just Americans, yeah. So yeah, it is Japan and China. It means Japanese people smoke and also Chinese people smoke too. Well, that's not good. Just more people want to die. Just more people want to die from lung cancer, including Japanese and Chinese people. Yeah, not just Americans. Isn't that sad? Well, yes, it is sad because more people are dying from this. Okay? Tobacco companies manufacture 1.5 trillion cigarettes. There are 6.7 billion people living upon the earth today. Well, now it's going to be now it's going to be 8 billion very soon. increases by roughly 1,000 cigarettes a living a man, woman, and child on this planet per year. I never been smoked. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. I never drink a drop of alcohol in my life. I don't plan to start now. I had to go look on the internet to learn how many cigarettes come in one pack. There are 20. That equals 2%. Packs of cigarettes every man. And women and child are living upon the earth per year. That's tragic. Well, hundreds of people starving. Hundreds of millions of people starving and lack of food and nutrition. All the poor people lacking flash and looking at water to drink and cook. It's a crime against humanity, and the rest of wealthy cigarettes annually feed to the world. Okay, clock to the world and rolled again. And since I don't smoke, I don't have to go research the cost of a pack of cigarettes, which is between $5 to $10. The following chart in 2005 shows world poverty compared to the U.S. $1 bill. You can see look how many people are poverty of smoking in 2005. See, and this was in 2005. I don't know how many there is this year, 2021. Okay, put this information together becomes clear that the roads for a cloud of cares of smokers would give their cigarettes and money aboard instead of even tobacco companies. Michael Z. Manskit. Okay, Zik. I might pronounce that last name anyway. Let's just keep reading. CEO Aldra Philip Morris, USA made $24 million in 2008. Louis Kamari, CEO of Philip Morris International, took home of $21,600,000,000 in 2008. Not bad for destroying people's lives with cigarettes, alcohol, pornography, casino gambling. These are $100 billion in industries, just like cigarettes. Okay, Ecclesiastes 12 verse 14. For God shall be in every work and judgment, and every secret thing, whether to be good or whether to be evil. Well, these are sad ascetics of making us think that our great expression of blessings which God has been given us in America. These 8% humanity less than $10 a day. More than 8% of the population in countries are becoming differentials and widening. Okay, the poorest are 40% of population accounts for 5% of global income. This is 20% accounts of 3/4 of world income. All according to the Evans, it is if 20,000 children die due to poverty and die quietly of the poorest budgets of the earth. Move the security of conscience of the world being. Weak of the mix of this dying multitudes every more invisible in death. Ruling in 27-28% of all children in developing countries. It's to be underway and studied that the two regions have accounted by bulk of this South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. And just continue a minimum of development goals. Target of having a population, proportion of unrated children. We missed 30 million children, largely because of slow progress in Southern Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. Against women, the data of 700 million children in primary school age development world went on in 2005. 87% of were girls, and most other statistic numbers. Number of million people of literacy regular book assign their names. 3% of the world of weapons every year when needed. Every child of the school year $2,000, yet it didn't happen. infectious diseases continue, blight out the lives. Poor lives in the world, that's 40 million people. Living with deaths, 3 million of deaths in 2004. Every year, 250 million causes by malaria. Fatalities causes accounts for 89% of the deaths of African. Shown by 90% of malaria victims worldwide. Malaria is caused by mosquitoes, and I'll talk about that in another video, okay? I probably will talk about mosquitoes maybe in another video, because that's another thing I'm going to have to talk about later. Maybe in another video, no. Okay, cigarettes will rob your health to lead to early death. Well, of course it does. My mother had smoked. My mother had a stroke at 53 and never walked again. She had both legs amputated when she turned 60, and then eventually died at the young age of 65. She didn't have diabetes, but the cigarettes had destroyed her body's circulation. The entire left side of her body paralyzed for 12 miserable years, which would suffer in that wheelchair year after year, while other people enjoyed the healthy body which God had given them. I watched my brother ruin her health. You can't just make someone take care of themselves. I hate cigarettes, and there's nothing else because of what they did to my mother. Cigarette smoking has cost the American taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars, and nursing costs of medical treatments. My mother spent 12 years in a nursing home, underwent multiple surgeries. Okay, yeah, I don't. And still died of severe addiction to cigarettes. She more in a nursing home than she did before the stroke. I would bring grandkids to visit her, and she would visit herself on the table against someone, and she let the kids weren't even. But it's like the kids weren't even there. I know this is not good. I love my mother, but I realized the cigarette addiction was controlling her. I still remember that telling me that she started smoking only have a cigarette a day, but she was 14 years old, and the horrible had progressed, and she was smoking packs a day. By the end of her life, my mother was gradually slowly killed herself with cool cigarettes. Not so cool, huh? Just remember, you can't take 2 puffs if you don't take the first. I don't condemn anyone for their sins and faults. I'm a big sinner, just like everybody else. James chapter 2, verse 10, and Romans chapter 3, verse 23. God's a lawgiver and judge. Isn't that beautiful? You can't judge me, and I can't judge you. People can condemn you, and I do agree, but they can't condemn us to hell for eternity, but God can. Romans 17, verse 1 to 34 says that there's no condemnations to those in Christ Jesus who walk after the Spirit. That is, they have the Spirit indwelling us as the believer. And this step before the God we die. Romans 9, verse 27. August chapter 12, verse 7 and 14. And you have received the death by resurrection of Jesus Christ for payment of our sins, then you are saved. And the only thing I disagree is this last sentence right here. I'll read it to you because it's all to you. This is what I disagree of. This is the only sentence I disagree with this article. Okay? And this the only sentence I disagree with is this last sentence right here. Okay? I'll read it to you to show you why I disagree with it, okay? It says right here, there's a popular false teaching in churches that says faith in Jesus is only to spend eternity in heaven. There's a false gospel because of that doesn't include the cross. Gospel that Christ, the Spirit was Christ. Okay, it says the gospel of Christ that Jesus died and buried, rose again to the dead. Verse 14. There's no salvation apart from the cross. Cross is gospel, faith alone, and Jesus alone is not the way of salvation. Okay, that's not completely true though. That's the only thing I disagree with. Because I do believe that Jesus Christ did die on the cross to save us from hell. Okay? And I do believe that Jesus Christ was I do believe that we have to believe in faith alone in Jesus Christ alone. And yes, I do believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross to save us from hell. And yes, I do believe that and I do believe that salvation is by faith alone, and I believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross. Yes, I do believe that Jesus Christ did die on the cross, and yes, I do, and I believe that salvation is by faith alone. So no, that's not a cross's gospel. No, that's not a cross's gospel at all. So that's the only thing I disagree with. That's the only thing I disagree about this article. But that's it. But I do agree that smoking is wrong, and I believe it has to go away. I know, I don't like smoking at all. Yeah, smoking is just bad. Okay, and it gives people lung cancer and I think smoking needs to go away. Anyway, I'll show you how to get saved anyway. And if you want, I'll show you how to get saved if you want to get saved, okay? So yes, you can quit smoking. JesusSavior.com. So yes, you can quit smoking. Yes, you can quit smoking. I know there's a lot of commercials that'll tell you how to quit smoking, but sometimes that doesn't work. So yes, I do. So this is the reason why I don't smoke. Okay. Now, if you want to smoke, that's fine. But I'll buy me an article to show you why I don't want to smoke. Okay. That's just the reason why I don't want to smoke. Okay. I have my reasons why I don't want to do it. Okay. I have my reasons why I don't want to do it. Okay. And this is only about just tell you why I don't want to do it. Okay. This could be another reason for you too if you want to. Okay. And this reason why I don't want to do it. Okay. And it's up to you if you want to quit smoking or not. It's up to you, okay? I'm not going to force you to quit smoking. I'm not going to force you to quit smoking, okay? That would be stupid. Okay, it's up to you, and then plus it's up to you if you want to quit smoking or not. And if you don't want, and look, if you don't want to quit smoking, that's fine. But I want to tell you, but I'll still believe it's wrong, and I believe it. To me, I believe it has to go away. But I'm not going to force me to quit smoking, okay? I just want to tell you why I don't want to smoke. I just want to tell you the reason why I don't want to smoke, and that's it. Okay, I just read an article because I tell you why I don't want to smoke. Okay, that's it. So, and here's how to get saved, guys. Okay, if you follow any false religions that damn souls to hell, when you go to heaven and just believe all Lord Jesus Christ, salvation is by faith alone, based on Jesus Christ alone. And once you know saved, by easy believes in this is the truth. Okay, you can't lose your salvation. So easy believes in that salvation is easy. Okay, to do is just believe in Jesus Christ for salvation. Okay, make sure you do the next video. Okay. The next video is called "What Does the Bible Say About Watching Movies?" Well, I'll talk about that next video. Okay? Because I do watch movies, and I do want to talk about it because I want to tell you the reason why I don't believe on I tell you why I believe the Bible and not on movies and not on make-believe movies I watch. Okay? I'll tell you why I believe the Bible and not on make-believe movies I watch. Okay? Okay. Anyway, I gotta go right now. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.